Good morning. Today, let's solve exercise 6.2 of chapter Lines and Angles. So, exercise 6.2, question number 1. In the given figure, find the values of x and y and then show that AB is parallel to CD. Now, you can see in the figure that here two lines AB and CD are intersected by a transversal, and you have to find the value of x and y, and also we have to prove that the given two lines AB and CD are parallel. Now for solution, from the figure we observe that 50 degree plus x equal to 180 degree according to linear pair axiom, because these two are pair of linear angles. Looking at the figure, you can see that x plus 50 degree will give 180 degree because the summation of these two is a straight line. Further solving, we get x equal to 180 degree minus 50 degree, that is value of x equal to 180 degree. Also y will be 130 degree because it is the vertically opposite angle where already the measurement is given as 130 degree. Yes, you can see in the figure that value of y will be also 130 degree because vertically opposite angle of y is given as 130 degree. And so according to vertically opposite angles, y equal to 130 degree. But x and y are the alternate interior angles formed by the transversal line. Now it is seen that in x and y, these both are pair of alternate interior angles when line AB and CD is intersected by transversal, and then as these both values of x and y we found out as equal as 130 degree, so we say that the given two lines, that is AB and CD, are parallel to each other. Also x equal to y equal to 130 degree. Therefore, the given two lines AB and CD respectively are parallel, that is AB parallel to CD. Hence proved. Next question, that is question number 2. In the given figure, if AB is parallel to CD, CD parallel to EF, and y is to z equal to 3 is to 7, find x. Yes. According to the question, it is given AB is parallel to CD, and further CD is also parallel to EF. Now ratio of y is to z is given as 3 is to 7, and we have to find the value of x. For solution, since AB is parallel to CD and CD is parallel to EF, therefore we write AB parallel to CD parallel to EF according to theorem 6.6, that is lines which are parallel to the same line are parallel to each other. Now when AB is parallel to EF, we get x equal to z. Now we can see then when we take AB parallel to EF, we get x equal to z because these are alternate interior angles pair. So according to alternate interior angles pair, we get x equal to z. Also looking at the figure, we can see that x plus y equal to 180 degree because they are interior angles on the same side of the transversal. Yes, we can see in the figure that x plus y equal to 180 degree. That is because they are interior angles of on the same side of the transversal when line A, two parallel lines AB and CD are intersect by a transversal. So we write x plus y equal to 180 degree. But we have seen that x equal to z because they are pair of alternate interior angles. So we replace the value of x as z and we write z plus y equal to 180 degree. Now further also it is given that the ratio of y is to z equal to 3 is to 7. That is value of y will be equal to 3a and value of z will be equal to 7a. Substituting the value of y and z in equation 2, we get 7a plus 3a equal to 180 degree. Therefore 10a equal to 180 degree. Therefore a equal to 180 degree divided by 10, that is equal to 18 degree. Now insert the value of a to find the value of x. We know that x is equal to z. Now z is given as 7a. So we insert the value of a, that is 7 multiplied by 18 degree, that is equal to 126 degree. Question number 3. In the given figure, AB is parallel to CD, EF is perpendicular to CD and angle GED equal to 126 degree. Find angle AGE, angle GEF and angle FGE. Let's see the figure. Yes, according to the question, it is given that angle GED, this whole angle is given as 126 degree. Also it is given that line AB is parallel to line CD. Further it is given that EF is perpendicular to CD, that is we get angle FED. This angle is 90 degree. Using this we have to find angle AGE, angle, this is angle AGE. Once again let's see, this is angle AGE, this you have to find. Another thing you have to find angle FGE, this angle, and third angle you have to find as angle FEG. So three angles we have to find in the given question. As it is seen in the figure that angle GED, this is your angle GED, that is made up of two angles, that is angle GEF and another angle FED, and this whole angle is equal to 126 degree. Now already we know that this whole is 126 degree and angle FED will be 90 degree because EF is perpendicular to CD. So inserting the values, we will get the value of angle GEF. So we write angle GEF plus 90 degree equal to 126 degree, because as EF is perpendicular to CD, we get angle FED is 90 degree. Solving further, angle GEF equal to 126 degree minus 90 degree, that is angle GEF will be equal to 36 degree. Again it is given in the question that AB is parallel to CD and we take GE as transversal. So we get angle AGE equal to angle GED because these are pair of alternate interior angles. As you can see that angle AGE, this angle and angle GED, they make a pair of alternate interior angles when line AB parallel to line CD is intersect by a transversal GE. So we get angle AGE equal to angle GED. Already the value of angle GED is given as 126 degree. Therefore, this angle AGBE will be also 126 degree. So we get AGE equal to 126 degree because the value of GED is already given as 126 degree in the question. Further, now angle AGE plus angle FGE equal to 180 degree because they are pair of linear angles. And according to linear pair axiom, we can write angle AGE plus angle FGE equal to 180 degree. Yes, you can see that angle AGE, this angle plus this angle FGE, they summation of this is a straight line, that is 180 degree. So they are linear pair axioms. So we write angle AGE, this is this angle AGE plus angle FGE is equal to 180 degree. Putting the value of angle AGE, we get 126 degree plus angle FGE equal to 180 degree. Therefore, angle FGE equal to 180 degree minus 126 degree, that is angle FGE will be equal to 54 degree. Further, question number 4. In the given figure, if PQ is parallel to ST, angle PQR equal to 110 degree and angle RST equal to 130 degree. Find angle QRS. Yes. Here you can see in the figure that two lines are parallel to each other. Line PQ, this is given line PQ. So we can extend it this way and find it out, and line ST we can extend this way. These two lines are parallel to each other. Angle PQR is given as 110 degree and angle RST is given as 130 degree. We have to find angle QRS, that is this angle. But here in the question itself hint is given, so we will use that and we will do the construction further and solve our question. So for solution, first we do the construction. We drew a correction means we are drawing a line XY parallel to ST through point R. Let's see the new figure after the construction. So we can see in the modified figure that we are drawing a line XY, this is, which is parallel to line ST. This is your line ST. And this line XY compulsory passes through a point R. This is what we have constructed, modified in our figure. Now PQ is parallel to ST. This is already given in the question, and ST is parallel to XY. This we got by construction because we have constructed line XY which is parallel to ST. Therefore, line PQ will be parallel to line XY according to theorem 6.6. Now when these two lines are parallel, that is PQ parallel to XY, and we take QR as transversal. So we write PQ parallel to XY and QR is transversal. We get angle PQR plus angle QRX equal to 180 degree because they are interior angles on the same side of transversal. As seen in figure, we can see that when line PQ is parallel to line XY and when we take QR as the transversal, we get angle PQR and angle QRX, which is given as number 1 here. We can give the number also. QRX, that is this angle, the summation of these two angles will be 180 degree because they are interior angles on the same side of transversal, or you can say co-interior angles. Putting the value of angle PQR, we get 110 degree plus angle QRX equal to 180 degree. Therefore, angle QRX equal to 180 degree minus 110 degree, that is value of QRX will be 70 degree. Now we take another two lines, that is ST parallel to XY, and we select now SR transversal. So we write ST parallel to XY and SR is transversal. So we get angle SRY plus angle RST equal to 180 degree because they are also interior angles on the same side of transversal, or you can write co-interior angles. Yes, you can see in the figure. You can see in the figure that now we have selected line ST parallel to line XY, and we have taken a SRS transversal. So angle RST, this angle will be equal to angle SRY. So we'll get angle RST plus angle TSR equal to 180 degree because this forms a pair of interior angles on the same side of transversal. Putting the value of angle RST, we get SRY angle angle SRY equal to 180 degree minus 130 degree, that is value of angle SRY will be equal to 50 degree. Further, we can also see in the figure that angle QRX plus angle QRS plus angle SRY equal to 180 degree. According to linear pair axiom, these three angles make a linear pair. That's why they are 180 degree. We can see in figure that angle QRX, which is given as angle number 1, plus angle QRS, which is given as angle number 3, plus angle SRY, which is given as angle 2. When we add all these three angles, we get 180 degree according to linear pair axiom. Inserting the values of angle QRX and angle SRY, we get 70 degree plus angle QRS plus 50 degree equal to 180 degree. Therefore, angle QRS equal to 180 degree minus 120 degree, that is angle QRS will be equal to 60 degree. Question number 5. In the given figure, if AB is parallel to CD, angle APQ equal to 50 degree and angle PRD equal to 127 degree, find X and Y. Let's see the figure. Yes. In the given question, we can see that angle APQ is given as 50 degree. Angle PRD is given as 127 degree. We have to find the value of X and Y. For solution, as AB is parallel to CD and PQ is transversal, therefore angle APQ equal to angle PQR because they are pair of alternate interior angles. Let's see in the figure. Yes, we have taken AB parallel to CD and selected PQ as the transversal. So we get angle APQ equal to angle PQR because they are pair of alternate interior angles. Inserting the value, we get as it is already given in the question, APQ is given as 50 degree. So we write 50 degree equal to x, or we can write x equal to 50 degree. Also we can take AB parallel to CD, and now we select PR is the transversal. So we write also AB parallel to CD and PR is transversal. Therefore angle APR equal to angle PRD. Yes, we write the equality because these are alternate interior angles again when we take AB parallel to CD and PRS transversal. So we have selected AB parallel to CD, and now we have selected PR as the transversal. So we get angle angle APR. This is whole angle APR is equal to angle PRD, which is already given as 127 degree. These both angles will be equal because they are pair of alternate interior angles. And we can see in the figure that angle APR is nothing but 50 degree plus y. So we write further 50 degree plus y equal to 126 degree. But before writing 50 degree plus y, which is 50 degree, as angle APR is divided into, it is summation of two different angles, that is APR, we get whole this APR angle when we add angle APQ plus angle QPR. Yes, so we write therefore angle APQ plus angle QPR equal to angle PRD. Inserting the values, we get 50 degree plus y equal to 127 degree. Therefore y equal to 127 degree minus 50 degree. Therefore y equal to 77 degree. And the last question of the exercise, that is question number 6. In the given figure, RS and PQ are two mirrors placed parallel to each other. An incident ray AB strikes the mirror PQ at B. The reflected ray moves along the path BC and strikes the mirror RS at C and again reflects back along CD. Prove that AB is parallel to CD. Let's see the figure. Yes, according to the question, it is given that RS and PQ are two mirrors which are kept parallel to each other. These are two mirrors. Now one incident ray, this AB, is falling on PQ. Then this is reflected at B along the path BC. Means when this ray is reflected at PQ, it takes the path of BC. And then again it strikes the mirror RS and reflected to path CD. This is given in the question. We have to prove that the given two lines are, we have to prove that these lines AB is parallel to CD. For solution, we draw first construction for this. So, in construction, we draw BM perpendicular to PQ and CN perpendicular to RS. Let's see the construction in the figure. Yes, we have drawn BM which is perpendicular to PQ. Similarly, we have drawn CN which is perpendicular to RS. According to law of reflection at B, we get angle 1 equal to angle 2, and at C, we get angle C equal to angle 4. We have learned in physics that when a ray is reflected, angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. This is we have learned according in the physics according to law of reflection. So we write that angle 1 equal to angle 2, because when the ray is reflected at B on mirror PQ, then we get this angle, angle 1 equal to angle 2. Similarly, when it is reflected at C, which is on mirror RS, we get angle 3 equal to angle 4. As PQ is parallel to RS, therefore we can write that BM is also parallel to CN. Consider BC as transversal, we get angle 2 equal to angle 3 because these are pair of alternate interior angles. Yes, we can see that when we take BC as a transversal, already it is given in the question that two mirrors PQ and RS are placed parallelly. So we get these two angles BC and we take angle 2 equal to angle 3, which is taken as pair of alternate interior angles, so they are equal. Actually, when we are selecting for this equality, we have to take BM parallel to CN. We have taken this thing BM parallel to CN. These two are parallels and now BC is your transversal. So we get angle 2 equal to angle 3, which is nothing but a pair of alternate interior angles. So we write angle 2 equal to angle 3. Now multiplying both the sides of this by 2, we get twice angle 2 equal to twice angle 3. In place of twice angle 2, we write angle 1 plus angle 2 because already we have it according to law of reflection, angle 1 is equal to angle 2. So 2 times angle 2, we can write angle 1 plus angle 2. Similarly, 2 times angle 3, we can write angle 3 plus angle 4. Now look, we can see that angle 1 plus angle 2 is nothing but angle ABC, and angle 3 plus angle 4 is nothing but angle BCD. Let's see in the figure. This is angle 1 plus angle 2. So we get angle ABC. Similarly, angle 3 plus angle 4, this is this angle. So we get angle BCD. Yes. But these are the alternate interior angles. Again, when we look at the figure, you can see that this angle whole ABC and angle BCD, these two are nothing but alternate interior angles when two lines AB and CD are intersected by a transversal. Therefore, we write AB parallel to CD according to the converse of alternate interior angle theorem. We have already seen this thing, that we have proved that these two angles are equal, ABC and BCD. When they are equal, when transversal BC intersects two parallel lines two lines AB and CD. If one pair of alternate interior angle is equal, then the given two lines are parallel according to the converse of alternate interior angle theorem. Therefore, we write AB parallel to CD. Hence, proved. Copy all the questions of exercise 6.2 in your CW. This exercise we have solved on the basis of concept of when a transversal intersects two lines and when we get different types of pairs of angles. So we have solved this exercise on that concept. Thank you.